We're bourbon hunting in Southern California today, and we're planning on hitting 6 liquor stores.
And we already know a few of them are running some specials on really hard to find bottles, so let's see what we get.
Hi, I'm Taryn.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to Whiskey Break.
And today we're doing some bourbon hunting.
Yes, yeah, we're out bright and early in the morning. Cars
Hear the
starting
cars.
to by. It's 6:45 a.m. and we're at the opening of Lucky One Liquor.
Yes. Yeah, it should be a good time. They used to have good deals in the past. And yeah, we're just going to check it out and see. Right off the bat, you can see us reaching for this High West cast strength barrel pick. Something that we're interested in but didn't take home. But yeah, you can see that there's a ton of whiskey in this small space. And I will apologize in advance. The shelves are super tall and your girl is not that tall. So unfortunately, maybe next time I'll have Jonathan film those top shelves.
Yeah, I'll definitely help out next time. But yeah, as Taryn said, there's just a ton of whiskey in a small space. And it's worth looking at every shelf, looking at every bottle. As we can see, towards the bottom here, there is an old label of the Old Scout bourbon. This ended up just being a normal release, but that's definitely something I look out for at liquor stores because they can have some really good old MGP juice for a good price. And then up towards the top, do you see the Corbin Cash Rye? It's always been something I'm interested in, but we just haven't bought a bottle yet. Has anyone tried it? Is it worth it? And then just kind of looking at the rest of the selection here.
Yeah, this is a huge wide shot of kind of all of their main whiskey. But what we are interested usually when we come to this store is the stuff that's on these barrels. So this is usually where they put their store picks and their bundles.
Yeah, so there's some one-off bottles right there in the front, but behind it we have some Clyde Mays single barrels, some Whistle Pig 12-year, Jack Daniel's Rye, a bunch of random barrel picks that maybe aren't the most sought after. The whole benchmark lineup, some smoke wagons, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you can see Jonathan reach for this 3-cord.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this bottle ever before. It's 15-year Kentucky straight bourbon. Usually anything in a fancy bottle that's 15 years old is usually Tennessee from Dickel. So I don't know where this whiskey is from. Like, I've heard of the 3-cord distillery, but is it good? Is it worth the $200 price tag?
About last year, we got a Stagg store pick, so that was a super good find for us. You can actually probably see it in the back of our videos. It's like on our shelves in the back. But yeah, we came in a little bit earlier and talked to the owner, and he was super nice, super willing to talk to us. And yeah, he was telling us a little bit about how a lot of his barrels probably won't be there until the end of the year, so probably toward the holidays. So hopefully we'll get to come back and see some really good deals at the end of the year.
So what's your channel about, guys?
We just started recently, just like a general whiskey channel. So
okay.
like doing reviews, lists, stuff like that, or trying a little bit of bourbon. The Whiskey Break. Just
Whiskey
on
Break.
Whiskey Break.
Yeah.
Break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Break.
Kind of like
Okay,
surf
okay.
break, that
So
type
not
of thing.
break.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
B-R-E-A-K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to you
So,
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Check out.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woohoo! It sounds like we just gained a subscriber.
Yeah, the store owner is super nice. It was really gracious to let us film. And we're back to looking at the shelves. So yeah, a lot more of the normal stuff. Do point out the Blue Run Cast Strength Rye. Don't see that bottle quite a lot. It's obviously just really beautiful bottles. And as we go back, do look at that blue box right there, the Alberta Premium Cast Strength Rye. That's a sleeper pick. Not many people talk about it, but for $70, that's an awesome cast strength rye. Super right in your face.
Yeah, and we're panning down here. We actually see an old friend of ours, Old Kemp. It is something that I'm not the biggest fan of. My parents got it for us on vacation, but it's all right. Flavored whiskey.
Yeah, I can't expect too much from flavored whiskey. And up at the top, a lot more Calumets, 2XO, the standard Michter's lineup. Basil Hayden, we're not huge fans. And then, yeah, just a lot of just random things in between. Whiskey Row. Those Southern Collective bottles have been pretty interesting to me, specifically that green one, the Ryes Rye. It says an 8-year rye distilled in Missouri. And I don't know who could have distilled that and haven't heard anyone talk about it. So if you know any other information, let us know, because a really strange bottle. The only real bundle of note here is the Jack Daniel's 10-year. It is $300 for the whole bundle, which is just a little bit more than we're willing to pay for it.
And yeah, here are the Buffalo Trace bundles. So we have E.H. Taylor bundle for $100, Blanton's bundle for $150, the Weller for $80, and the Eagle Rare for $60.
Right behind it, we have a barrel with some of the Rye 3 releases. Lots of different finishes on those. Kind of interesting. And then the whole shelf of all the 4-date releases. All of them are over $200. A lot of really interesting finishes, but just kind of hard to pay that much.
And then you have my Barrel Seagrass shelf. I know it's barrel shelf, but Barrel Seagrass is the only thing I'm looking at. You see Jonathan point here, and he pointed at the gold because we hope to eventually get that one. Hopefully one day. It is a little expensive, but we'll splurge one day. And then we have this stuff on the barrel up front. So we have the Foggy Burl by Redwood. We have the Penelope Tokaji barrel, and then also that New Riff malted rye.
Yeah, and then otherwise we just kind of got all the whiskeys that are outside the standard whiskey aisle. So a lot more like mixers or Sazerac things, Sazerac rye, all those weird tequilas, benchmark products, mango shata, all kinds of weird stuff in the front. Tons of Traveler that has not been selling well near us. And then just a little bit more of the enthusiast whiskey. So we got some Maker's Cask Strength, the whole Michter's offerings. We do have an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof pick right there. And then the Little Book, the latest release. I believe that was about $150 or so.
And yeah, we checked out.
All right, so we just finished up at Lucky One.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they didn't have the same deals that they had like last year. We were talking to him a little bit, the owner, and he was saying that he's pretty short-staffed right now. So maybe toward the end of the year, they'll have, their cool bundle deals back. But
yeah,
today, pretty normal selection.
Yes, we did find a Redwood Empire Foggy Burl,
Yes.
which is something that we meant to buy before and then passed on, and a lot of stores sold out. And so completed the small lot series for now. So
yeah, off to the next. Well, we actually kind of started last night, so maybe we'll insert a clip after this.
So yeah, here we are. We just got to Nady's Liquor in Santa Ana. So I filmed a little bit of us walking in here. Got that good old B-roll. I didn't film too much in here because we basically just saw the post and got up and went. So I grabbed my phone real quick, got a couple clips. Again, I was a little nervous that the guy in front of us was going to get to the stuff before us, but we ended up getting what we wanted, and we'll show you in the next clip here.
All right, we're at our first stop. Started the night before, actually before our bourbon
Yes.
hunt. We're at Nady's Liquor in Santa Ana, and they posted
Little late night liquor run.
Yeah, they posted a little deal where you spend $50 and you get some deals on some hard to find stuff. So couldn't find exactly what we wanted, but we ended up going with a Knob Creek 9-year bourbon pick. Can't really go wrong with a store pick when you have to buy something. So might do a little review on that sometime later. But what we came here for was a bottle of Elmer T. Lee. So we've never actually never actually had a bottle of our own before. We tried it once at a bar, but for $100 plus $50 of another good bourbon, couldn't say no.
Yeah.
Just glad we got here in time.
Yes, definitely. All right, Jonathan just hopped out of the car. He's waiting kind of in a line. It's only one other dude. We kind of made him get out of his car, which we didn't mean to, but should be good. Our next stop is Cosmo Liquor, which is kind of right down the road, but I'll probably bring my phone in there. It's pretty tight, pretty small, but what we're really here for is they have a deal for Stag for $100. So we're gonna hop out and see if we can get that, and should be good. I mean, there's only other one dude in front of us, so hopefully we got this.
We got the Stag. Now let's take a look at their small whiskey selection. As you can see, they have all the standard Buffalo Trace allocated products up front. Each Taylor small batch for $90. That's just a bit more than we're willing to spend. And then as we get into their standard bourbon / whiskey aisle, it's a pretty tight selection, but you see a lot of the core offerings from a lot of smaller distilleries. We see all the Penelope bottles there, Old Forester Whiskey Row. We saw some Sagamore offerings, a little bit of Redwood Empire. You're not going to find any like limited releases here, but anything standard or part of their core lineup is going to be here. And the prices are honestly pretty good, especially considering the size of the store. All these finished old elks are definitely something that we've considered before, but $100 is just a bit too steep for us to pay. And then the Blue Run bottles always look great, but just not the best value. We get down a little bit, see some flavor whiskeys, even to get some overflow of some wines and cocktail mixers. And yeah, it's pretty selective, not too much.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry about my shaky hands. It is so tight in here. And then you see, the whiskey row from our last bourbon haul.
All right, we got the goods.
Yeah, just checking in. Got the Stag for 100.
Yes, awesome. We're down to our next stop.
Yeah, now we're just kind of going to some random liquor stores in the area. No particular specials, but see what we find.
Yeah.
All right, our next stop is Dimension Liquor in Lake Forest. Haven't been here before.
Yeah.
Seen that they've done some picks in the past. Again, no real specials or anything special here today. So we'll see what they got. Right away, we see their store pick shelf. They have 1792 Bottled and Bond, Weller Full Proof and 107, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Old Forester Single Barrel, Heaven's Door, and even Remus Single Barrel. Most people probably be interested in the Wellers, but we're not huge wheated bourbon fans. And then as we go down, they have more of the premium Jack Daniel Bonded series, Weller Special Reserve. The whole Benchmark lineup is down there. But mostly we're interested in the barrel picks.
Yeah, you can see Jonathan pick up the Old Forester single barrel strength, and super interested in that bottle. But yeah, Dimension ended up being a hidden gem liquor store for us. There was quite a few things that we were interested in for really, really good prices. So we'll definitely be back, very excited to, add them to our list. Yeah, so here is a wide shot of their collection behind the counter. And you can see Jonathan peering into the cabinet here.
The cabinet had a lot of their really high value items that are outside our price range, but it's always fun to look at. Obviously, right here, we have the Jack Daniel's Special Release Single Malt. That was $300. We contemplated it, but a little too expensive. Old Forester Birthday Bourbon and the Old Carter's back there, obviously very expensive. We have the Old Fitzgerald Decanter Series, Knob Creek 18, a couple things like that. And then to the normal shelves, we had 1792. There's a 12-year, but for $140, that's a bit too much. And then...
Yeah, Jonathan picks up the Blue Run. It is actually $130. So we did contemplate this one a little bit. Decided to pass, but maybe back.
Yeah, it's the best I've seen for the single barrel series, but in general, the Blue Run is just a bit pricey for what you get. So definitely thought about it. We have the old Belle Meade labels for $80 and about $50 each. Passed on that, but definitely thought about it. And then a lot of your usual suspects that we've seen at a lot of other stores, but the prices are right in line with what we've seen basically everywhere else today. Up top, you can also see the old Baker's label. If you're a Jim Beam fan, that might have been a pickup. And then, yeah, a lot more of the more standard whiskey selection back here. We do see the High West Prisoner Share. That's a Utah exclusive. Up top, we have a lot of really old limited releases. That Lilpook was the 2020 version. And then there's some a lot older Blood Oath packed. I believe that's 8 and 9. Obviously, we have all the E.H. Taylor tubes at the top, an old Booker's release, and then all those Wild Turkey Master Keeps. They were about $300 each, which was pretty tempting. It is really expensive, but again, these are really old releases you can't find anywhere else.
All right, we just got out of Dimension Liquor.
Yeah, and they had a lot more than we expected. We walked away with an Old Forester barrel strength bourbon pick and a really old Sagamore rye finished in rye ale barrels. We've never seen the bottle before. Decided to take a chance on it. And like I said, yeah, a lot more selection, a lot more cool stuff.
Way more.
We definitely thought about getting some other bottles, but that's what we ended up with.
Yeah. All right, we're outside of Great Press Liquor.
Yep. And again, just going to see what's inside. Right when we walk in, they have tons of Buffalo Trace, just like basically every other shop. But what they're really known for is having a lot of good barrel picks. So as we look over, they've got a Rittenhouse single barrel, Elijah Craig barrel proof barrel, Old Scout rye that was only $40. So really good value, but just we don't need another rye in our collection.
Yeah, and you can see in the background, Jonathan's picking up a Four Roses barrel pick. So he'll turn it around for us, but it is an OESK recipe, which is something we've never had before. So it really piqued our interest. And you can see he really likes that one.
Yeah, and then we look back over, they have the full Penelope lineup, full Smoke Wagon lineup, and then just a lot of your standard offerings, Old Forester, Woodford Reserve, Jack Daniels, all the prices you'd expect, just really bottles that we don't need to grab right now. And then going over to the Four Roses rack, we got single barrel, small batch select, small batch, and at the very bottom, the standard Four Roses, all at the prices you expect. And then lastly, yeah, again, that Four Roses barrel pick for $100.
Awesome. And then we're panning over to the more allocated section. So obviously they have a lot of 1792. We'll pan over, and that stuff is more of the, allocated Buffalo Trace products. So anything for around $200 to $300. Jonathan obviously picks up the Eagle Rare store pick.
Yeah, it ended up being $60, just a little bit outside our price range. And then, yeah, basically everything on this rack was secondary pricing. Got some cool stickers there. But the E.H. Taylor single barrel was not marked, so we're going to ask about that one.
And you can see here they have the Free Ranch. We've tried the Free Ranch single barrel rye, and that was really good. But I do really like their display. It's very bright. And then you can see Jonathan holding up their stickers. They usually have some pretty good stickers at this store, which is kind of fun.
And then we go over to more of their normal whiskey selection. It is just the one aisle. All the good stuff is really on the barrels that we already showed you. But as you can see, plenty of the normal Irish whiskey, scotches. Wilderness Trail, we've definitely thought of picking up before, but maybe another time. And then, yeah, you can just kind of see basically all the standard assortment that you'd expect at a normal whiskey store.
Yeah, and all very standard prices, nothing special.
And then we're back over to more of the normal whiskey. We've got the full Michter's lineup. Woodford Double Oaked, always a favorite from us. Basically every Jack Daniels you could think of. And yeah, a little bit of craft whiskey here or there. As you can see, we got the Redwood Core lineup with a little bit of their special releases.
Yeah, and they have the Screaming Titan, which pretty much everywhere in SoCal still has the Screaming Titan, but not the rest of the small lot series.
Yeah, made a lot of bottles of that one. And then, yeah, more flavored standard whiskey goodness. Nothing that we're going to pick up today.
And you can see here, this is kind of like their behind the counter.
Yeah, this is the cabinet of all the highly allocated special stuff. So we just pointed out they have both batch 1 and 2 of the Remus Gatsby, Michter's Barrel Strength Rye for $200, a lot of Blue Runs, full Bardstown collaboration collection, just a lot of random allocated goodness. You can see some of the prices up close here for a lot of the Heaven Hill products. There's a Parker's Heritage 10-year rye for $400. Definitely want to get a Parker's bottle at some point, but not for that price. And yeah, Pappy's, Blood Oath, Jack Daniels 10-year for $150. If we didn't already have 2 bottles, that may have gone home with us. And yeah, a lot of just really good, not terrible pricing, but just outside what we're willing to pay.
All right, we just got done with Great Pressed Liquor. We kind of splurged maybe a little bit on this one.
Crazier than we expected. So yeah, they had a Four Roses pick for $100. It was an OESK Tier 4. We haven't had any of the E recipes before, so that's about the best price we'll find it for.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they did have an E.H. Taylor single barrel for $150.
Yeah.
Right at that tipping point. Any more we went to bought it. Any less we would have instantly bought it. So
yeah,
we ended up coming home with it, and it's one of our favorites. So
yeah, it always cracks me up when Jonathan asks me 3 times if we should get it, because I know exactly that he wants it. So we ended up getting it.
Just need to confirm.
Yes. Okay, we're at our final stop, Corked in Long Beach.
Yeah, sun's out. We're in the back lot,
yes,
and we'll see what we find. The main reason we came out here was they're running a special all week where you could spend anywhere from $50 to $500 and get access to certain bottles at MSRP. The one that we were interested in was spending $100 to get Jack Daniel's 12-year for $150, but that was already sold out by the time we got here. So there weren't too many deals that we were interested in besides that. We do see the Old Forester single barrel proof rye, but that was $150 in a bundle, just a little bit outside our price range. There's other cool bottles on these barrels, but again, nothing that we had to buy or come home with. Just interesting to look at.
Yeah, it was a fairly large store. You can see us panning over here to the multiple Jack Daniels. So they had the whole Jack Daniels lineup. And you can see that they also have, the standard Four Roses stuff. And then we pan over to the less allocated, but more premium stuff. We have thought about that old Portrero before, picking that up in the past. We also see that there's Driftless Glen, which you don't see a lot of in California, so that's cool to see on the shelves.
But yeah, otherwise, just a lot of the standard offerings you see at other stores. There's a double oaked pick that we probably would have taken, but we just got it from a different store recently. And yeah, as you can see, pretty good selection, but all the prices are about $5 to $10 more than we've seen at other stores. And there's nothing particularly unique or that we had to buy. As you can see here, yeah, a little bit more of those blue runs, but not necessarily great deals. We have a nice little barrel shelf at the top, some Foregate, New Riff, Penelopes. Again, as Taryn said, a lot of things that we've maybe considered in the past, but it's not the best price that we've ever seen. And we'll find it again if we need to. Over here, we have a little bit more Smoke Wagon, a little bit more interesting bottles. I'd say we really are a big fan of the Remus Repeal line. Some single barrel picks there from New England, the whole Bardstown Bourbon Company line, Michter's, Yellowstone, limited edition, some Woodinvilles, interesting little dad hat bottle there, and then the Redwood Empires.
All right, we're back in the car. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything that we were super excited about, so we didn't end up purchasing anything, but oh well.
Yeah, we got more than enough whiskey today. We were hoping for a Jack 12 to still be available, but it was all sold out. So again, we're really excited with what we got. And yeah, let's hop over back home and go over our haul.
Yeah, bourbon haul.
All right, we're back and we're ready to go over all the stuff we got.
Yeah, like we said in the video, our first stop actually started at Nady's Liquor in Santa Ana. And our first purchase was a Knob Creek 9-year single barrel bourbon. This was one of the deals where you had to spend a certain amount in order to get the bottle we wanted. So we had to spend at least $50, looked around a little bit, ended up getting this for $70.
Yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking because, like we said, we were kind of on a time crunch. So Jonathan went in there and we needed to spend $50. So I was getting a little nervous. There were some other people in there that really wanted what we are going to show next.
Yes. Elmer T. Lee for $100. We, in the 3+ years of us looking around, we've never really seen this at a good price. And as Taryn said, spending $50, getting it for $100, that's the right price for us.
Yes, definitely. Awesome. Our next is from Lucky One Liquor in, where was that, Mission Viejo?
Yes.
So we got to complete our small lot series, the Redwood Empire Foggy Burl. So super happy we found it. There was a lot of places that ran out of it. So happy to get a bottle and not have to buy it online and spend all those, shipping costs and all that kind of good stuff. Just get it for the right price.
One of those bottles that almost got away and we almost regret not getting it.
Yeah, happy to complete the lineup of the small lot series.
Yeah, and then after Lucky One, we ran right over to Cosmo Liquor in Lake Forest, and honestly, this was the reason why we decided to go out bourbon hunting. We saw that they posted a deal for Stagg, formerly Junior, for $99, and yeah, we have a store pick version, but we've never actually come across a normal version at a good price. These have finally come down to $150 at best, more like $200 on an average day, and yeah, they only posted they had 3 bottles. Got there 30 minutes before opening and ended up being a 22A version, which is quite an old version, hard to find, and very well reviewed. So we have high hopes.
Yeah, we met a couple cool people too. They thankfully subscribed, which is super awesome. But we had great conversations with them and were able to talk a little bit about, whiskey. And we don't have a lot of people around our age in this area that know a lot about it and can talk. So it was kind of fun.
Good way to spend 30 minutes while we're waiting for it to open. So.
Yeah, super nice. Awesome. Well, our next is we went to Dimension in Lake Forest. And what caught our eye in the case was actually this Sagamore Brewer Select, which is finished in rye ale casks?
Ale barrels, yeah.
Yeah, so super fun. It was actually something that I had been eyeing online that they only sold it to people in Maryland, so I was excited to get this one.
Bottles like this is something to keep an eye out for when you're just at random liquor stores. This released many years ago, not really publicized, and it's a brand we're a fan of, and we'll never really have another chance to get a bottle.
Yeah, we got it for $75, so fair price. Yeah, the other bottle that we got from Dimension is Old Forester. So this is
a single barrel strength pick from them. Yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah, $80. It's something that we don't see a lot of around us. So we were kind of excited to see it there in the store. There were quite a few left. So we're excited to see, you know, something that we haven't seen before for the right price.
Yeah, it's one of those, we could have bought like a Bevmo, Total Wine, or grocery store pick of these before, but never had a chance to get it from an actual liquor store.
Yes.
So we're hoping that kind of makes a difference, makes it worth that $80.
Yeah, definitely.
And then our last fruitful stop was at Great Press Liquor in Mission Viejo. And so we walked in, again, not really looking for a specific deal, but they had these Four Roses barrel strength picks for $100. This is an OESK, aged a little over 9 years. It's a tier 4, almost 120 proof. We have a couple other Four Roses picks, but we've never had an E recipe. And at $100, that's as cheap as they're going to get. They're $130 plus now, so couldn't pass it up.
Exactly.
And while we were there looking around, we saw an E.H. Taylor single barrel, asked for the price. It said $150. Right at our maximum we're willing to spend. Thought about it for quite a while in the liquor store and decided to go for it. We haven't seen these for under $200 in over a year. We only have one bottle that we've had, and it's really good. So couldn't really pass that up.
Couldn't pass it. Yeah, totally. And that brings us actually to our total.
Yes.
So we went to how many liquor stores? 6 in total. Like you guys said, or like you guys noticed, we did strike out at the last one, didn't quite get anything. But in all the 5 places that we got something from, we ended up totaling of $775. So we didn't necessarily total tax into that either. So it's a little bit more than that. But yeah.
We didn't exactly plan on spending that much. Again, there were a couple deals that caught our eye and caused us to go looking. But yeah, a lot of these stores had a lot more things than we expected.
Good stuff,
we just kept on not being able to pass it up.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So yeah, if you could subscribe, let us know. This is the first time that we've done a video like this, a whole bourbon hunting, actually recording at stores, going out there. So let us know what we did good, what we did wrong. We definitely want to do more of these in the future.
Yeah, and remember to subscribe, like, comment, all that kind of good stuff. And we have videos every Monday, so we'll see you back next week.
Yeah, and tune in. We'll probably do a more in-depth bourbon haul video about our pickups.
Definitely. Bye.